what's known as an A.P.U, or Auxiliary Power Unit. Not to be confused with the Simpsons character A.P.U. This is what's known as an A.P.U, or Auxiliary Power Unit. Not to be confused with the Simpsons character A.P.U. Don't want to get canceled for that. Don't cancel me for saying that. But what it is a diesel generator that provides air conditioner, heat, and that's not it though. The biggest thing, not the biggest thing, but another added benefit is it charges up the batteries. Another thing is it uses the same cooling system as the engine. So when it gets about down to 32 degrees, it will keep the engine pretty warm. But it does have a little radiator and a fan on here, so it will actually, the coolant will not, by the time it gets to the radiator, will not be warm at all. But there's so many other benefits as opposed to just heating and cooling. So like if you're really low on batteries, a lot of times I won't even try to start the big engine. It takes very little juice to start this. When it was cold, and that's another thing too, is when it's cold and your truck doesn't want to turn over, when I was home, I'll start the A.P.U if I can get it started. I cranked this thing for 20 minutes and finally got it started, and it's still cranking. That's how little juice it uses to start. But anyway, it charged up the batteries enough to get the big motor started even when it was really, really cold. And like I said, you have the added benefits of it keeping the coolant warm. So like if it's 40 degrees or something like that, you'll start up the engine. The engine will probably be around 100 degrees or so. So it'll start, your heater will start blowing pretty quick. Now when it gets really cold like this, you're just out of luck. But nice thing is you can cycle between the engine and the A.P.U. And another benefit to this is, especially when it's cold like this or when it's super hot, these new engines, they don't like to idle all the time. It's really bad for the DPF filter, and they'll get clogged up. So even in a cold day like this, it's 5 degrees, I'll idle the engine in the middle of the night a couple times just to keep it warmed up, because this won't keep it, the coolant, the heater warm down to below 10-15 degrees. That's about all this is good for until you start up the engine, warm it up. So there's a lot of added benefits to having an A.P.U. And definitely get a diesel one, don't get a battery powered one, because of all those other benefits that I just told you. So look into it, and you also get a 400-pound exemption. Weighs way more than 400 pounds, but at least you can take some of that off of your drive axle.